Yo, welcome. Welcome to part 2 of building a Yippee app. Yeah, I'm kind of late for this, but yeah, actually, I have an interesting story to tell. It happened like right before stream started, so I was like unsure if I was gonna stream today because something crazy happened. So I've got like one of those like phone holder thingies that I use for like yeah, like grabbing my phone, so I can use for like tracking and stuff. But like it accidentally like clicked some buttons and almost called like emergency services, and I was like, oh my gosh, I canceled it. So that's why I can still stream. But like, yeah, I was like, that was pretty yikes. But we're good now. So onward and upward with the Yippies. So let's get back into it. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. I turned that setting off, so no more weird scares, for sure. But yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, so this is where we last left off on the Yippee app. Yeah. So we built this like start screen with like these buttons here. And we got a shop as well. Let me actually show the shop. Yeah. So if I run this, yeah, let me show the shop. Yeah, so, and the shop just has like these 4 buttons, and there was a bug that was happening yesterday when I clicked this back button. It was kind of pausing, but I fixed it, and I'll show you the fix that I did for that. That was the only code change I made after yesterday's stream. Here was the change. So I basically passed in this show start view variable into the shop view, and I set it to be false, or rather true, whenever the back button is pressed. Yeah, that was the only change. And then there was also like I had on dismiss here, like on, or no, it was on disappear, and I had this like show start view equal to true. I just took this out because it was doing some weird stuff where like it would only show the start view after the animation finished, and by then like it was showing like this background, so we don't even need this. But yeah, that was the only change I made. And also just to make sure like taking out that background didn't do anything, I'm gonna run this again. Cool. Oh, there is a bit of a slight flashbang, so I'm gonna put that background back in actually, just in case. Yeah. So awesome. Yeah, now let's get into I want to work on the actual game mechanics. So I think these other views, the leaderboard, the stats, and even like the different shops that we have, like we have a gem shop, upgrades, consumables, skins, probably gonna work on those a bit later in favor of working on the game mechanics, just because yeah, I think the game mechanics is kind of the meat of the whole app. the other stuff can kind of be done later. Like even we can take some stuff out if we don't need, but the game mechanics we definitely need. Yeah, so for that, I guess we can start by making a game view. Yeah, I'll start by making a new file called game view. Yep. And here, we'll need to have a sprite view. So this will be, also let's make this a landscape again. So orientation, landscape left, and we need a sprite view. So sprite view, well actually, we'll need to import sprite kit to get that. So sprite view. Oh wait, actually, I just remembered, we don't use sprite views anymore, because I want to use an SKS file, and to do that I need to do this whole like view controller representable stuff. And I did that in my court jump meme app. So I'll just pull the code from there, actually. Let me actually show that code, just so that you know where I'm pulling it from. It's on my GitHub too. But let me go ahead and pull that code. Oh, I think I've already got it open. Yeah, here we go. Let me kind of make this a bit bigger. You can see. Yeah. So this is my Mango app. But if I go to my court jump slingshot app, now I'm basically just gonna yoink most of the code. I had the game view controller. I think I had those are representable here somewhere. Yeah, this game view controller representable. This is the main thing that we want. I'm just gonna literally use the same thing. Yeah, we'll copy that into our project. So let me make a new file. I'll call this let's say a Swift file, and this will be game view controller representable, and we'll just paste it. Yeah, now we have a game view controller representable. Oh, I think we need to import UIKit. I think so. Oh, also, we have this view model. We don't have this yet. And we don't have a game view controller actually either. So let me... also, we don't need this. And what else do we not need? I guess? Does this come from UI view or UIKit? I don't think so. Yeah, okay, we're good. Yeah, let me show. We need to pull in a game view controller. So that would be here, our game view controller. Yeah, this is where the UIKit code is. Oh, I also had levels in my other app. But yeah, let's just copy this whole thing and paste it into our project. Why not? The benefits of having other projects. I can just reuse code. That's kind of why I like building many different apps and doing like different things in each app so that I can always refer back to something. I have like a repertoire of code to use. It's very helpful. Yeah, so let's take out this. Oh no, wait, actually, this comment. Yeah, that'll be good. We don't have a view model. We don't need this, really. Yeah, we don't need a switch statement. So, just like this, I think. That should work. And then we need an SKS file. That's kind of why we're doing this, to get an SKS file. Yeah, and this can be game scene. No, this will be our... Wait, right? Game scene. I think so. Yeah, because this we'll need to create a game scene then. Then I wonder if we even need this game view actually. I don't think so. I'm gonna delete this. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we'll need it. Yeah, I'm checking my other project. Oh no, we did need it. Because that's where we put our representable. Yeah, let me add that back. So what do we... What's the errors here? Can't find scene in scope, right? Because we haven't created the scene variable yet. So let me check. In my other project, in the view controller, so I had that switch statement. Oh yeah, I just need to say if let. I think I took that out. Can't find game scene. Okay, yeah, we need the scene file. So I'll make a new group. Call it scenes. And then we'll need a new file. And we'll have it conform to sk scene. Call it game scene. That should be good. Cool. Now it has a game scene. Oh, also, are there errors here? Let me see. Oh, we're missing a curly. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think this should be good. Also, let me make sure that the sound is all right. Is this good? I think that's okay. Maybe the music's a little loud. Okay, hopefully this should be better. Yeah. All right. Now, let us get back into it, shall we? So we don't have a game view model. Are we missing another curly? No, that should be fine. So what's this? Value of type game scene has no member aspect fill. Is that because we're casting it? I figured that would be fine though. Oh wait, what is our game scene conforming to in my other project? It's like SK scene. So if I go to here, this should be fine. Oh, okay, that's why. We haven't imported sprite kit, so it doesn't know what an SK scene is yet. So now that it knows, then hopefully this shouldn't complain. Let's see. Yeah, okay. That's fine. It's just typing. You have to be explicit. Yeah, so... yeah, let's build our game scene. Or, well, let's build the, Hold on, wait, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We gotta first put a game view controller representable in here. That's what we want to put in our game view. But is there anything else we want to pass to it? I think before we were passing an environment object, which was our view model, but we haven't made our view model yet in this project. So, yes. Let's see, I'm looking at stuff. Okay, so this is what I did in my other project. I made it ignores safe area. Also, this should be, landscape as well. Preview device. Orientation. Yes, okay. Okay, and then I also had an ID, but yeah, we don't need that yet. This should be fine. Yeah, this is good. Okay, so let's make our SKS file. I wonder, did I put it in supporting last time? I did. Okay, so let's make that a new SKS file. We'll call this. Let's see. Sprite gets seen. So this should be. I'll call it. Like game scene. Oh right, it has to be the same name. So the thing about SKS files, they have to be the same name as your scene file. Otherwise it doesn't match up. Yeah. Also this is portrait. How do I change this to be landscape? Maybe there's a thing here on the side I can change. Let's see. Camera, custom size. Oh, I'll just swap the dimensions then. So it's 750 by 1334. We'll make it the opposite. Cool. And now we'll bring in some nodes. What's it? Color node or something? Color sprite. And make this the size of the thing. Big red rectangle. Yes. And now what we'll do is we'll call this background. And I think we can give it an image, if I recall. Let's see. So instead of like a custom color, I think we can give it an image. Where do I set that? I don't see an image option. Maybe I'm not using the right node. Yeah, I'm gonna actually check my other project. We do a little bit of cross-project lookups. So let me do just that. I will check my... No, whatchamacallit, it was the court jump meme app. So, in that app, I also had BG. Oh, apparently there's a texture parameter I'm not setting. Right, and that's correct, I'm not setting that. So let me set that. Yeah, there's texture here that I didn't set. Okay, now we've got our background. Our wonderful background. Cool. That should be fine. Yeah. And I also want to have a ground as well. So let me get another color sprite. We'll put it here and stretch it out to like here or something. What's kind of good, like here? I kind of want to cover these trees. And then let's set the ground. Cool. So that Yippee can jump on the ground. Like a good little Yippee. Happy and free. Jumping as content as he can be. Let's see. So, okay. Yeah, and we want to call this ground. And give this a physics body of a rectangle. And not affected by gravity, allows rotation. Dynamic? I don't know if we need that. Yeah, let me... Do we need that? I'm not sure. I'm gonna reference my other project again. Because sometimes... I think dynamic has to do with, like, how the physics is affected, whether you can set it yourself or it's like automatically set by the world. Something like that. And we're doing it ourselves. We're gonna be applying forces manually. So yeah, I don't need it to be dynamic. Oh, what's this? Check this lock. Yeah, anyways, we'll take that out. Yeah, and then we need a little Yippee, don't we? So let us get our little Yippee. And we'll call him Yippee. And we will set the texture to be Yippee. Oh, he's... Okay, cool. Don't want him to stretch at all. And I kind of want him to be rotated, or like flipped horizontally. I don't think I can actually do that. Yeah. Wait, how do I flip a node horizontally anyway? Flip a node horizontally. Sprite kit. Oh, I can set the X scale to -1 apparently. So what if I just set this to minus... Okay. Cool. That works. Look at little Yippee, he's ready for battle. Oh, but actually no, he's not. He needs a sword, doesn't he? So let's give him a sword. All Yippies require a sword. Oh wow, quite the legendary sword for Mr. Yippee. And we'll do the same thing, we'll give it a negative X scale. And we'll scale it down for Yippee size. And can I rotate it as well? Oh, I can. Nice. Or actually, I kind of want it to be like vertical. So here's my idea for the app. I want him to be able to swing it like this, but kind of like around his head. Kind of like, it would be like this. It would go around like this. So, to can get enemies from all sides. That would be good. Yeah. Good little Yippee. And we'll name this sword. Oh, what did we just name? I think we named the scene. Yeah, we don't want to name the scene sword. So let's name BG, ground, Yippee, sword. Okay, we should be good then. And let's give bounding boxes to things. Or rather, physics, like hitboxes. Yeah, that's the term. So bounding rectangle. This should be affected by gravity. Allows rotation, no. Dynamic, no. And same for the sword. The sword, I guess it's... Should it be affected by gravity? I don't think so. I kind of want the sword to follow the Yippee, wherever he is. So the Yippee can fall from, like, gravity. He can jump and he can fall. And the sword will just kind of stick to him, but not have its own gravity, I think. I think that would be a good way to go about it. I'll give this a bounding box, and I'll just take off all the little check boxes. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And also I want to give the Yippee some health. So let's do that, like user data, HP or something. Or let's be more explicit, health points. We'll give him, I don't know, what's a good amount? 1,000? Yeah. 1,000 HPs. That'll be good. And yes. Okay. So, what else do we want? Yeah, this is like a little... Okay, that's okay. Do we want to give the world a bounding box? I kind of do. I kinda do. Yeah. Or we can set it in the code, I think. I think that will be better. Yeah, let me check how I did this. Did I give the background its own physics body? No, I didn't. Not in the Slingshot app. So it's fine. We don't need to set it in the SKS file. Alright, now we've got our little Yippee with his sword. Yeah, so let's work on showing this game view. So when the start view, when we click the play button, we want to show this game view. So let's maybe have another variable like state var show game view, and then set that to true when we hit the play button here. So show game view equals true. That'll be good. Yeah. And I think then we want to have another if case. Maybe we want to put it above the shop one, because it kind of, I don't know, I feel like that's makes more sense. Put like this, and then this will be like show game view, and then we'll have a variable here for the game view. So game view, and same like transition animation. Awesome. That should be fine. So that should show the game view. Yeah. And let's see. So, and we want the SKS file to show. So if I go to our view controller, yeah, this file should say game scene. Yeah, now let's check. Does it show it? Oh, not quite. Okay. Something is missing. What are we missing? So we call present scene. Did we set self.scene to be this? I'm not sure. Do we need to do that? Let me see. So in our other view controller file, do we need to set self.scene equal to this or something? No, this should automatically show our scene. So something else seems to be going on. What could be going on? Is it because we haven't implemented here anything? I don't feel like that should be an issue though. If we haven't implemented any of our scene code yet. Do we need any initializers though? That's the thing. No, I don't think so. So what's going on? This is game scene. Game view controller representable. And that's taking this, getting a game view controller, which initializes a scene with this file name and presents it. Okay, maybe it's just the preview. Sometimes it's just a preview. Let me run this then in our simulator. So if I hit play. Oh, okay. Oh, and the shop is okay. Okay, that's we have a couple of bugs going on. So first most is we're showing the shop instead of the game view. When we hit the play button. Yeah. So Show game view equals true, show start view equals false. Yeah. Let's run it again, see what happens. We got a little yippee. We hit shop. Okay, that properly shows the shop view. Hit play. Okay, now that shows the game view. Okay, that fixed that. But we're not getting any of our thingies to show up our game view stuff. So, what seems to be going on? When we hit play, we should be seeing a game view. And this should be showing something too in the preview. Yeah. Let's see. Let's do some thinking. Let's use our gray matter to debug. Game view controller. And let's see. What have we got? So maybe it's this aspect fill or something? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm gonna refer my other code. That just seems a bit odd. It's not showing. It should. I feel like it's something in here, like file named or something. Yeah. And so, okay, we set our scale mode. If let view equals self.view. And then we set the scene. Present this scene. What else? The scene doesn't have anything in it, but it should pull from here. Maybe I need to do something like... There should be maybe a drop down here to set it to... What if I set this to game scene here? Custom class game scene. Let's see. Oh, okay, still not... Okay. Let me see, maybe... I feel like it is one of those SKS strings. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, yes, okay. I think I found something in my other project. Yeah, so I think it is this. Looks like we need to set this to be game scene as well. And now, hopefully... Oh, okay. Not quite. Let me check the simulator. Oh, simulator is working. Look, we've got our Yippee. Welcome, Yippee, to the world of Yipplandia or something. Oh, but our ground is hiding. Why is our ground hiding? Or actually, I kind of like the ground like this. I kind of like it. Or let's see what it looks like with the ground actually. Showing the dirt part. Because it's kind of cropping a little bit. Is it? Yeah, there seems to be an issue here. Also, can I pull this down? I'm not really using that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so why is the ground not really showing? It's cropping something. Yeah. And also, why is the game view not loading the SKS file? Oh, okay, now it is. I guess maybe I just needed like a refresh or something. Yeah, the ground is like not showing anything. Or it's not showing the this dirt part below. I think it's cropping, but not sure why. Let me see. So, okay, we have the dimensions of this as... Oh, okay, wait, no. Of this is 750 by 13... Well, that should be 1334. Yeah, let me just change that. 1334. But the height is the problem, I think. So... Okay, looks like the bottom of the whole screen is getting cropped. Yeah. Why is that happening? Oh, and even the top of the screen too. You see, it's like cropping the sun when it shouldn't be. Okay, so this is 1334 by 750. What have we got going on? I think because it's not the same size on... I think 1334 by 750 is a different size than whatever device this is using. And it's cropping because of that. Yeah. Alright, let's see, because our backgrounds, we had different, like, aspect ratios. Yeah. This is universal. Wait, so what if we test this on iPad? What does it look like? So if I pull my iPad previews, like this one, if I put this here and call this game view, and I check this, what does it look like? Okay, now it's showing the ground and the sun, but the Yippee's off screen. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, little Yippee is being cut off by the screen. Yeah, this is a bit awkward. Maybe in that case I don't use the SKS file. Yeah, maybe I don't use the SKS file. Because it seems to only work for like one screen size or so. Yeah. That's awkward. Yeah. That's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, is there any way I can like salvage using the SKS file? I really like the SKS file. Because I can set like a lot of properties through here, like the user data and stuff. Let's see. Yeah, this worked for our other projects back when we only had one phone size, but it seems not to really do the trick when it's when it is multiple phone screen sizes that we need. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. So perhaps we use a sprite view instead. Yeah, I think that would be alright. Instead of the SKS file, we could always use that. So instead of like this game view controller representable, we just have a sprite view, and we pass in, well, I think we'll need a import sprite kit, sprite view, scene, game scene. Yeah. I've had another app that did that, but then, yeah, we can't use this SKS file anymore, unfortunately. Well, okay, well, I'm gonna try and look up if I can use it. SKS file for multiple screen sizes. Let's see. Aspect fill. Fit. Oh. Maybe. Okay. I have an idea. Let me see. Maybe it's because I did aspect fill here. If I set to aspect fit, what will it look like? So instead of that, let's see. Does this salvage it? Oh no, it crops it. Yeah, I mean it shows everything, but it's cropping. What if I take out the ignore as safe area? Oh yeah, it's kind of even worse. And I would not want it to stretch either. Yeah, okay. I'll set all these sizes in the code then. Maybe not use this SKS file. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay. Because I'm checking online and they're saying like I made it multiple SKS files for different screen sizes, which is like that's kind of overkill. Yeah. Right. Oh wait, there's other things we can do too. Let's see. Can we do resize fill? Hold on, let me check that. There's different scale modes we can do. Resize fill. What does this look like? Oh. And now everything's gone. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna use the sprite view then. Yeah, for now I'll get rid of this yeah, that's sad. I'll say that is sad. Negative progress, I guess. But, well, we progress by learning though. And that's always a progress in my eyes. We learned that to use SKS files, we should stick with one screen size. But if we're building an app that supports multiple screen sizes, then we don't need, or we can't really use SKS files. So instead, what I'll do is I'll set everything manually. And I'll go kind of the route that I did in my Ohio app and use the sprite view and then set all the background and the ground and the player in the did move to view. So say override did move to view. And here's where we're gonna set some things. We're gonna be setting some things in here. So I'm actually also gonna refer my Ohio code, because why not? Why not? Yeah, where is that? So what did I do in my game scene? I did a lot of things. Oh, and I also did some inits. Okay, I might have to create a custom init for this. Just to set the size correctly. Yeah. So let's see. And in my game view, what did I do? Oh no, I didn't set a size. I passed in a view model though. Yeah, I passed in a state object view. Oh no, wait. Oh no, I did pass in a size, okay. And I made it a state object, interesting. Okay, wait, why did I do that? Did I have any state properties? Let me see. So I did have published variables. I might want to do that. Yeah, let me go the same route that I did then with that. So, what I did was, here's what I did. So in my game view, I'll create a state object, and this will be a var. I'll call this this will be private as well. So private var game. This is game scene, and I pass in a size. And this is CG size. Hold on. CG size. I pass in a width and a height, and I use the UI screen.main.bounds.width, like basically the width of the entire screen, the height of the screen as well. And I also passed in a view model, which I won't do now because we'll do that later. But yeah, so then instead of passing in game scene here, I'll pass in game. And then now I need an init for size. So init with a size. Hold on. Size. Or wait, it auto-filled before. Yeah, okay, here we go. And I think we can say self.size equals size. Right? I think so. Oh, we also need to call the init. So, yeah, super init with size. And we'll need this required initializer. If we're overriding our init, we need to do that as well. Yeah, and so what we can do in our did move to view, I'm checking my other code. So I've got, I set the scale mode, because before we were doing that in the view controller. Now we need to set it in our did move to view since we no longer have a view controller. And now, oh right, so I did anchor point equal .0, so that every node we add to the scene, we can position it and scale it appropriately. Yeah. And then, okay, so I set a gravity and a contact delegate. Do I want to do that now? No, not yet. And then I also had a function which was like initialize game. I always do this, and then I can say public func initialize game, and this is where I can like add the ground and the background, stuff like that, and the Yippee and his sword. Yeah, so let's do that. So, oh, I guess I didn't spell it. Yeah, okay. Cool. And I also want to create some textures. Let's create some textures. Because before we were doing that, we didn't need to create any textures for the background because we were just setting it in the SKS file. But now, since we're not, we need to create it manually. So let's make some textures. We'll set the ground texture to be ground. Let's make our Yippee texture. Yippee! Let's make that one. And let's also make a sword texture. Although I kind of want to start the game out with him holding a stick, and you have to like buy upgrades to get the sword. Yeah. Oh, right, this should be UI image named this. Yes, indeed. Not just a string directly. Yes, how can I make this easy to copy? Oh, I have to unwrap it too. Okay, is that right? We have to like unwrap this? Oh no, there's another parameter, okay. There's an image named. Okay, that makes things easy. Cool, we don't have to like initialize with an image. or do some unwrapping weird stuff. Oh, also this should not be static. I don't know why I made this static. Yeah. What else did I do? Let's see. So I need to make the background and set its size and position. Yeah. So I will do just that. Right. So let us... Oh, also I made a helper function for setting the background. It's... whatchamacallit, it's scaled to be nice on all sizes, all device sizes. So I'll have to add that background, or add that helper function back in. But yeah, let me say, let's have a private func create background. Maybe another one for create ground. Yeah. Just so it's like we can just call this like create ground, create background. And it doesn't look too gross in our initialize game function. Yeah, so create background, we'll say, we'll start off by creating a node. So let background equal sk sprite node. What else do we need? Anchor point, do we need to set? Okay. So let's do that. Let's say, whatchamacallit, it's background.anchorPoint equal .0. What else did we do? Oh, we need to set our texture, background.texture equal to bg texture. Here's where we're gonna do... I created a function in my other project. This was the one I was talking about, but I called it aspect fill to size, and then we'll pass in fill size of... oh, this is where we need a size, so we can pass in a size here. And we'll do that. And then we also need... okay, so here's the thing. I want the background to also scroll. Right now it's not big enough to scroll because it's just the size of the screen, but eventually I'm going to extend the background to go off screen and scroll from left to right, or rather right to left. And if it's scrolling, I want it to pause. And the way I handle pausing in my apps is like give all the nodes a name, and basically every node that's named, we pause if it's moving. Like, say, for example, a scrolling background, we can pause it. So I'll give the background a name. And we'll call it background. So that we'll use that in the future. But for now, we'll just set it when we're creating it. Oh, also we'll say background position. We'll set the position to be, let's say, CG point. Can say, what, like 0, 0, I think? Or yeah, X, 0, Y, 0. Yeah, I don't know, maybe with the anchor point 0, I think that's where we set it. And then we'll need to set a Z position. So Z position equal to, like, or what's a default to 0? Okay, well, we'll just set it explicitly to 0. Yeah, also we need to set the size here. So this can be, I think it's like, is it self.size that we want? What did I do in my other app? Did I say something like scroll background? Yeah, okay, yeah, we passed self.size. Yeah, and then of course we want to add the background to the screen. Yeah. And we have some errors here. Where are these errors coming from? Oh, I didn't delete this file yet. Yeah, we're not using this anymore. Yeah, let's create this function. So this function belongs in an extension. So we'll create a file called extensions. Extensions. I can spell. And we'll say an extension to SK sprite node. This will be a func aspect fill to size. And that's in a size. And I used this before, and I think in multiple apps actually. But it's a hack basically, because you need to set it to a specific size. It basically, so this function will basically, if the width is bigger than the height, or the height is bigger than the width, it'll scale your node depending on what's bigger to fill the screen. That's what it'll do. Yeah, let's show what that looks like. So I have if texture, so I get this texture variable by default because we're extending sprite node, and sprite node has a texture variable. It's like self.texture. Yeah, and so then I can say self.size equals texture.size. And now I can scale that size. Now that I've set it, so this is the ratio stuff I was talking about with like so if it's like the height's bigger, then let's say, so here we're saying like vertical ratio is basically whatever height you pass in divided by the texture's height. And then we'll do the same for the horizontal ratio. Oh, also we need to import SpriteKit because it doesn't know what a sprite node is. So this should be horizontal ratio. It should be width and width here. So we'll have a scale ratio equal to horizontal ratio. Is it greater than the vertical ratio? Then we want to use the horizontal ratio, whatever is bigger. And now we set the scale, self.set scale to the scale ratio. Yeah, it's just like some thing I found on the Stack Overflows some time back. But basically, whatever is bigger, like the ratio of the heights, the texture height to the whole screen height, or for the width, then we want to use whatever is bigger to scale the node. So that's helpful for the background. Yeah. Oh, also there's an error here. Oh, okay. So I guess I need to make game scene and observable object. Yeah. Let's do that. And now we can call this. And the size is self.size. So hopefully now we get a background to show up. I think so. Yeah, okay. Now we've got our background. And here's the benefit of that math that we did. If we go to our iPad, yeah, now you can see like the trees are barely hanging out at the bottom. And it's the same, pretty much the same. Like very well, it's a little cropped, but it's close. It's as close as you can get based on these ratios. So it's not stretching weirdly. It's scaling as much as it can. Because if you can tell, like the height and the width of the iPad, the ratio of them is different than the phone. Like on the phone, it's much taller than it is wide, whereas the iPad, it's more like square, as you can see. So that's why we need to do that kind of weird math that we're doing. Yeah, so we've got this working. And now let's add our ground in. So we'll do that here, private func create ground, we can pretty much, I guess, just copy everything here. I don't think we need to call the aspect filter size. We need to set this to be ground texture. We need to set this name to be ground, because we're also, if we're planning to scroll the background, then we want to scroll the ground too. And yeah, because that kind of breaks the illusion that it's moving if the ground isn't moving either. Yeah, but for now we're not going to scroll it, but in the future, probably. The position, we don't want it to be at 0, 0. It's probably, maybe... can I get the frame dot... like width divided by... oh no, wait, this should be frame dot height. Like, divided by 8, I think. Like, set it to be like 1/8 from the bottom. I think that'll work. It might have to be 7/8. I think it's opposite. Z position is 1, and I think we need to set a size as well. So this is where we set this size. But we need to set the background, or rather the ground size. So let's call this ground. And so what do we want the ground size to be? So ground.size equals CG size. The width should be the width of the screen. The height, this should be like probably like 1/8 of the screen, I'm thinking. So frame.height divided by 8. So let's see what this looks like in our game view. Oh, it's loading. Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, we put it way too high up. So, okay, it should be 1/8 from the bottom then, based on our anchor points. Yeah, so we just need to take out that times 7, and hopefully that should fix it. Oh, okay, it's... let's see, what's going on here? So, the ground is like 1/8 tall, but we're putting it 7/8, or 1/8. And what does this look like on iPhone? Okay. So, this would be cool if it were like a bridge, but we're not planning on having bridges, I don't think. Oh, actually, you know what? It might be interesting to have platforms. Maybe. Maybe. Like randomly spawn platforms that Yippee can jump on. That could be cool. Yeah, I might think about that. But yeah, for now, how do we move this ground down? Move the ground down. I think we place it at Y0. I think that's what we do. So instead of 1/8, let's try Y0. Which is interesting because this is also at Y0. I guess it's placing it like at the bottom, but it's scaling up. So yeah, let's just see. Y0. Where does that... Okay. Now that's appropriately placed. Nice. And on the iPad as well. Cool. Yeah, you see this already has its benefits over the SKS file, where the ground was hiding the dirt part. But since we manually place it now, we don't get that weird hiding bug that we had. Cool. So, and yeah, let's take this out. We don't need that anymore. Yeah, now let's place our Yippee. Let's place our nice little Yippee. Let's say here, private func create. I guess we can call it player. I mean, as much as I want to say like Yippee, I feel like it might get a bit confusing because we're planning on making the enemies like little Yippies as well. So we'll say create player. Of course, we'll copy this again. We'll call this player. Oh, also we need to set physics. We're not setting any physics. Yeah, it's one thing we're forgetting. I'll make this a player. Give it a Yippee texture. Let's see, what else do we want? So player.size, how big do we want the Yippee? we want it to be the same frame as the or same aspect ratio as the texture, don't we? So can I say player.aspect? Okay. Let's see. So yeah, I don't want the Yippee to be too scaled oddly. Let's see. So we say frame.height. I'm gonna look up how to like scale sprite node texture or scale sprite node texture to keep aspect ratio with texture. Let's see. I can create an extension. Oh my gosh. Speak of the devil, man. Check this out. I literally looked up. I'm not even making this up. I found the exact same extension that I just made in this post. Or well, I took it from this post, but that was like a while back. But yeah, you can see this aspect filter size. So basically the problem I'm having is I want to make the Yippee like be the same size as like the texture, but not like stretched. And it uses this function. So now I can say like aspect filter size. Well, instead of view.frame.size, can I do like texture size? I wonder. Yeah. Oh, because it already... Right, okay. So... Yeah. I think it already takes into account the texture size in the extension. So... Yeah, see, because it says texture.size. Yeah, and so... Okay. Yeah, I think what I can do here is I can call that function. Maybe I want to do that for the ground as well. Yeah. So let's say aspect fill, or yeah, player.aspect fill to size, frame.size divided by, or frame.width. Wait, do I need to pass a size? We do need to pass CG size. So CG size, frame.width divided by 8, frame.height divided by 8. Or rather, width divided by 8. I kind of want it to be a bit more square. Let's say create player. Let's see, what does this look like? Oh, we also didn't place it. It's set 0, 0, I think. Oh, okay, that's nice. I like that. He's a bit big. Bit big, Yippee. But otherwise, good. And we also need to rotate him to be, like, flipped horizontally. So let's say... player dot set scale sets the x and y scale. Set x scale. Is this a get only property? I want to set the x scale to be the x scale times -1. I don't know if it's get only. Oh no, it looks like I can do this. And then we want the Yippee to be above the ground, and the ground is frame.height divided by 8 tall. So we'll set him to be that for the y. And for the x, we'll get him to be a little bit not so close to the left side of the screen. So maybe frame.width divided by 8 as well. Yeah, so let's see how this looks. It should be flipped and on the ground. Okay, nice. It seems like he's hovering a little bit over the ground. A little flying Yippee. So let's make it slightly, that is like slightly, whatchamacallit, closer to the ground. by doing 8.1 here. And I kind of want them to be even more to the right. So we'll say frame.width divided by 6. And make them a bit smaller too. So we'll say frame.width divided by 10. Let's see how this looks. Cool. That's very good. And now let's give our Yippee a sword. Let's give him a weapon. So, yeah, let's say, or maybe we want to do that in this create player function. Create player with weapon. Yeah, so create player with weapon, because I think it makes sense to do both of those in the same function, because we're basically always want the weapon to be with the Yippee at all times. So say weapon, and it'll be sword texture, and the height will be frame.width divided by like maybe 16, and the width will be divided by 6. It's like a long sword. The position will be the Yippee's position, which is this, but maybe we want it to be a bit out more. So frame divided by 6 plus like the width of the Yippee, which is like kind of like this. Yeah. And so, oh, and maybe the height can be a bit, kind of like halfway between, well, like the Yippee's Y position plus half of the Yippee's height. So the Yippee's height, let's say it's just like this, divided by 2, so 20. Yeah, let's see how this looks. Yeah. Oh, and also we'll call this, weapon. Let's see. Oh, okay, that's pretty far out, and then it's the wrong direction. So we need to change the X and Y position and flip it. But the size is pretty nice. So we'll take out this times -1. Oh, this is also using player's X scale. Ooh, okay, interesting. Well, what if I just take this out? Does that mess up the size? Not really. But it also doesn't flip it. So let's say weapon.xscale times -1. Does that flip it? Cool. Oh, and it also moved it. Interesting. Oh, the width must be really, really long. That could be why. Yeah. Interesting. Let me move it up a bit. So let's say frame.width divided by 6 plus frame.width divided by 10. Let's just say divided by 5. What do we get? Ooh, I think that pushed it back even more. Oh, why is that? It's doing it like the opposite of what I want. If I make this a 4, what happens? Okay, interesting. Yeah, what is going on? I think the size of this weapon is really weird. I think that's what's happening. Can I put a color, like a border around the node? Like color border around sprite node. Just to see. I think there's an extension I can do. Yeah, I just found one online. I'm gonna copy this in just for temporarily. Just for testing. Just draw the border. I remember I've done this before just to test. Let's say, weapon.draw border. And we'll get a color and a width. Indeed. Oh, sprite node has no member draw border. Oh. I think I put this inside. Okay. Now let's see. So this should be maybe like dot red, and this can be like 5.0. Let's see. What is this looking like? Oh yeah, look at that. Why is it? You see that little rectangle? That's like how big the sword like kinda is, but it's not the same as the texture size. Yeah. So what if I increase the width? Oh, this is because this should be height, I think. Right? Wait, let's see. Not really. So the width, what if I make it like divided by 3, like really long? Okay. Yeah, why is it drawing that there though? What is this doing actually? So it's using the frame. So whatever I'm setting the frame is not matching up with what the texture is. Yeah. I'll just say this for debugging. Maybe note or mark. Yeah. So, we seem to be running into a bug. A little bit of a bug with our weapon size not aligning with our frame. Yeah, what could be causing this? What could be causing this indeed? Yeah. I am most intrigued by this bug. Oh, also, actually, I completely forgot. We need... Oh, yeah, I forgot. We need some buttons, too. We need some buttons for jumping and moving left and right. Yeah, how are we gonna place those buttons here? I think we need the ground to be bigger, then, if we want to have those buttons. Yeah, because we don't want the buttons to overlap with the Yippee. So... Okay, it's a bit awkward then. So, what if we make the ground bigger? And... put the buttons all like where the ground is. Yeah. Or if maybe if they tap the left or the right of the screen, it moves left and right. But then we still need the jump button and like the swap weapon button. Interesting. Unless I make it like a platformer, but then that's kind of going against what I kind of envisioned for the app. Awkward. Unless I make it like a camera on the Yippee. I could do something like that. Have a camera follow the Yippee. Oh, I'm thinking about like design now. Yeah. Okay, I think I'll make the ground bigger and put some buttons at the bottom. I think I might do that. Yeah. Yeah, wait, so what happens if I do like... Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Let me make the ground bigger. Well, let's fix this sword bug first. Yeah, I'm going off on like a tangent. Yeah, why is this box not like covering the sword? Our frame isn't correct for this weapon, which is... The frame is set here, I think. With the size stuff. Yeah. So... What do we want? What if we don't use this aspect filter size? What if we just set the size manually? Like, this width should be frame.width divided by 4, and the height should be frame.height divided by 16. Now does the red box go around the weapon? Oh. It's like above the weapon though. Is that better though? I'm just gonna... I gotta reuse this function, and I'm just gonna move this up some more. So like instead of at frame.width divided by 4, maybe, what if I did like divided by 2? Like where does that put it? Oh, okay, I think I know what's going on. It's placing this sword based on the tip of the sword because of my X scale. Right, okay, because I rotated it, it's like placing it based on the tip instead of the handle. Yeah, okay. Then maybe I want to change my anchor point for my sword. Instead of .0, which would be like the top left, I think. Maybe I want to make it like CG point. Let's see, what do I want to do here? Instead of .0, like 1, 1 or something. Because the anchor points range from 0 to 1. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. Let me see. Oh, okay. So now it's placing it with the hilt touching halfway across the screen. Which is what we want. So now let's place it. Actually, let me do, instead of 1, 1, let's do 1, 0.5. Would that be better for our anchor point? What does that do? Okay. Yeah, because now it's placing it based off of like... Yeah, okay. Maybe I should talk about anchor points a little bit. Maybe give a lesson on anchor points. Yeah, I'll talk about anchor points a little bit because this is kind of confusing if you don't know what anchor points are. Yeah, we've got our GIMP. Oh, actually, this is not up to date. Now it is, okay. That was old GIMP. Our UI drawing. But yeah, here's anchor point. So, say you have a little dude here. You can imagine he has a bounding box around him. As like, that's how we determine where to place it. And so if our anchor point's .0, it places it based on this top left corner. Yeah, so if I say like place it like halfway across the screen, like if I want to place him here, it'll put this point like here. And then he'll end up like being placed like here. But what if I want to place him to where like it's like halfway in between? What if I want to place him like here? Then I'll need to put the anchor point here, right? And so this is 0. This is 1. This is 0.5. And this goes in the x direction and in the y direction. Yeah, so if I want to place him like here, then I need to change the anchor point to be 0.5, 0. Yeah, and by default, it's at, well actually, no, default is 0.5, 0.5. So the default anchor point is actually in the middle. But we set it to this to place it like here. Yeah, so this is like a, I'll say default. Yeah. Maybe it's hard to draw with the touchpad, but yeah, this is default. Yeah, this is 0, 0 placement. And this is 0.5 0 placement. Cool. Yeah, so that's how anchor points work. And what we did in our code was we set the anchor point of our weapon to be 1.5. So if I go back to our image of our dude here, so what is 1.5? That would be, like here's 1 in the x and 0.5 in the y. So this would be 1.5. And why did I do this? Because this point is actually here, because I set the x scale to be times times -1. So it actually flipped the dude. So since I want my sword to be whatchamacallit, placed based on this, like halfway along the screen or something, I need this point, which ends up being 0.5 because of this x scale multiplication. Yeah, a little mathy, but that's anchor points. Yeah, it's an interesting system, but it helps with like more refined placements of things. Indeed. This is anchor points in Sprite Kit. Yeah, and I think this also is in UI Kit as well, for placing things. Yep. So that's anchor points. So now we have our weapon. We've told it to go to halfway across the screen and then like a little bit up from the bottom. So you can see it's like placed halfway along the screen. But we want it to go towards the Yippee. So let's put it where the Yippee is, which is frame.width divided by 6. And the Yippee's anchor point is 0. So it's placing from the top left of the Yippee's texture. So we actually want this to be plus the width of the Yippee. which I think we have as this. So let's see where this places it. Oh, okay. It's a little further than expected. What if we take this out? Because I think the scaling, it's not technically plus frame divided by 10. Yeah, okay. So, okay. Oh, actually, I know why this is happening. We also did the times -1 scale on the Yippee. So 0, 0 is placing it from the right side. Okay. So actually need to subtract a little bit. So let's say minus frame.width divided by 10. Where does that put the sword? Ooh. A bit too close to the Yippee, so maybe minus 20? Or divided by 20? That's kind of alright. Let's make the sword a little less thick and maybe bring it down a little bit if we can. So the width of this, or the height of the sword, will make smaller. So let's say this is 20, and we'll maybe make this divided by 8 again. Or no, actually, yeah, we want to keep that, but maybe instead of plus divided by 20, like you say plus divided by 22. Bring it down a little more. Let's see. Okay. That brought it down, but it didn't change the height of our sword. Yeah, also I don't know what this drawing isn't really doing anything. It's not accurate. Yeah, so we'll take that out. Yeah. Yeah, so how do we make this height a bit smaller? Yeah, because it's aspect filling, basically. So I don't even think this is doing anything. I guess 25. Yeah, okay, because we have it set to aspect fill to size. It's only messing with one dimension. So in that case, we don't really want to set the size using that function. So we'll use a CG size and set it manually. Let's say the width is the frame divided by 4, and the height is the frame divided by 10 or something. Let's see what this looks like. It's a little thin. Also, I do kind of want to bring it back a little. Yeah, so let's say minus, instead of minus 20, minus divided by 18, and make it a bit taller, divided by 8. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe bring it back even more. It's like divided by 16. Did that bring it back more? Ooh, I don't know if that changed much. How about divided by 12? Make it go back much more. Aha! Okay. Yeah, well, maybe I kind of want it to be in the center of the Yippee. So for that, let's make it go up a little more. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's kind of a good place for it. But now we want to make the ground bigger so we can add some buttons. Yeah, now we can work on the button stuff. And the ground, making it bigger so we can have room for the buttons. Yeah. Okay, so let's make the ground taller. So, okay, we'll say the size should be the frame.height divided by 6, maybe? So what does that look like? Yeah, Is there room for like buttons at the bottom? I don't know. Let's make it divided by 5. I don't want it to be too big. I think that's okay. Because we want some room for some buttons. Yeah. Let's see, what if we place those buttons? Yeah. Let's see. So, what to do? So we want 4 buttons. I'll make up a function set up buttons or create buttons. And we'll want, oh, actually also let's first move the Yippee and the sword onto the ground. So the ground is at frame.height divided by 5. Yeah, before, what do we have? We had this at frame.height divided by 8. So let's, I guess we can put this here and this here. Oh no, wait, that's X position. Oh yeah, so this is where we were changing that. So let's say 5.1. Yeah, the X we would keep the same. Cool. Now it should go above the ground. Nice. Let's make some buttons then. So we want a button to go left, a button to go right, a button to jump, and a button to swap your weapon. So I'll say left button. We'll change all this. Oh, we haven't set the textures yet. We'll have to do that. So I'll say left button. Yeah. Say right button. Indeed. And attack button. Or no, attack is tapping the screen. We'll have a button for jumping. Actually, would that make sense? So like, have a button for jumping and tapping as attack? Or tapping is jumping and a button for attack? Because I only made the jump button. So I might swap how that is. I may do that. For now, let's just put the jump button. And make this a left button, or rather right button. Put this here. And make this swap button. Maybe swap weapon button? That makes more sense. Cool. And what shall we do? Cannot find weapon in scope. Okay. Yeah, we don't need to do this. We don't need to swap our like horizontally flip our thing. Because it's a circle. Our buttons, well, we have triangles as well. Oh, actually, so then, yeah, we need to do it for the right button then. We do need to do this for the right button. Indeed. But not for anything else. Okay. Now what to do? We need to get some textures in. So we need the... What textures do we need? So we need swap button, jump button, arrow move button. Indeed. Arrow move button texture. Go SK texture. Image named. Arrow move button. And then we need one for jumping. Jump button texture. Go SK texture. Image named. Alright. Now what do we call this? Jump texture or something? Jump button. Jump button. And then we have one for swapping weapons. Private let's swap weapon button texture equal SK texture image named swap button. Okay, now we can do this and say this is jump button, this is swap button texture, this is arrow move button texture, as well as this. We can also set the size based on the aspect fill to size. Can pass in a size of, well, I suppose frame dot width divided by, actually, do we need this? Maybe. Frame dot width divided by 8. And same for this. And we'll actually use this for all of the sizes. Yeah. And for jump button as well, we'll make them, all the buttons, the same size. And we want their position to be all in the same Y level, but different X levels. And the Y level will be basically halfway where the ground is, or maybe even lower. So the ground is frame.height divided by 5 high. So the Y level will be maybe frame.height divided by, well, divided by 2 would be 10. Let's do 12. See how this works out. Indeed. And the X will be all different for these buttons. Maybe the first X will be frame.width divided by 8. And then maybe have a little gap for the right button. Ever so slight gap. Which maybe be plus frame.width. Well, we don't need the addition here. We can just say divided by 7. This can be frame.width divided by 4 times 3. And this one can be plus, or maybe 4/3, 5/6 maybe? Let's see, what does this look like? We also need to call create buttons. Let's see, how does this look? Okay. So our buttons are too big. And yeah, okay. We need to move the jump and swap buttons to be a bit further apart. Yeah. So let's make our buttons smaller. And actually, these are all SK nodes. We want them to be SK button nodes, so you can actually tap them. Actually, no, wait, I remember there's no such thing as an SK button node. Yeah. So I actually made an SK button node in one of my in my Ohio project, I think. Right? I think so. I did. I made an SK button node. And I gave it the option to have a pressed image and an unpressed image. Okay. Yeah, let me copy this code over, actually. Yeah. And I will copy it over. Or maybe just type it out, because I don't want to leak where. It's on my personal GitHub, so I won't risk showing that. So I'll create a new file. I'll call it skButtonNode. And we will import SpriteKit. Class skButtonNode, skSpriteNode. And yeah, this is where I did some stuff with like pressed image and unpressed image. I don't have pressed images of this yet. So I'll put these variables as like for now, for future state. But in reality, we're just gonna be using the same one for the time being. Also, we had a closure for what we do when we tap the button. So this is where we'll say like, make the Yippee jump or swap weapons or move left or right. Also, we need an init, because it's saying we need one. A pressed image and image. And we say self.unpressedImage equals image. Self.pressedImageString equals pressed image. And we call super.init texture skTexture image named image, and color is clear and size 0. Okay, I forgot why I did that. Oh, I remember. Okay, so super init we have to call, but it has these extra parameters which we don't even use. Also, we need the required init because we're overwriting. Or we're not overwriting an init, but we're implementing our own. And so what else do we want? Oh yeah, we need a function for setting the texture. So let's say skTexture self.texture equals texture. And override touches began. And oh, okay, so this is where, yeah, we do this so that we can swap between the pressed and the unpressed images. But we don't have any pressed images yet. So yeah, it'll just be me using the same image for both. Indeed. And so, yeah, now we have an skButtonNode, because there is none in SpriteKit, so we kind of have to implement our own. Yeah, so now instead of skSpriteNodes for these, we need them all to be skButtonNodes. Yeah, and we need to init them using our init with the strings and such. Yeah, let me see. So how did I use these? Oh, okay. So okay, here's what I did. I created them in as like instance variables. Let's say private let left button equal skButtonNode, and image will be Yeah, okay, so I guess we don't need these textures then. Right? I don't think so. Because this will create the texture for us in the SK button node. Yeah, it sets the textures here. Yeah, so then we don't need these textures. We can just say, this. And we'll copy this 4 times. Right button. And then we need a jump button and a swap weapon button. And we'll say the jump button will have the jump button image. And the swap weapon button will have the swap button image. Indeed. That's what we'll do. What else do we want? How about... yeah, how do we use these? How did I use them before? Okay, here's what I did. Oh, and I need to pass the closure too. So... I guess we don't need to set the anchor point. Yeah, we don't have to be so explicit with that. So we need position, size, Z position. Z position should be above the ground. Ground is at 1. This should be a 2. Yeah. So... let's see. So... when we... okay, so we don't need to set texture either, because we're already doing that. So no texture or anchor point. For any of these. And we could set a name. So we have the names. What else? The size and the closure. Okay, so we can keep the size. Yeah. And what else can we do? Oh, we need the closure as well. So left button dot on. Oh, is my on tap closure private? Oh no, this is still an SK sprite node. Yeah, we don't want to. We want to use our instance variables. So now we can do like on tap equals, and then here we'll have a closure. And we can implement this later. So right button, jump button, swap weapon button. And actually, we're gonna want a reference to the player here. In all of these cases, actually. And here we'll want a reference to the weapon. So actually, we're gonna want to make these outside of the... or like create them out here. Like so. Private let player equal SK sprite node. Private let weapon equal SK sprite node. Yeah. Cool. So now we can say like player dot whatever. Player dot move left or something. Awesome. Let's see, our size is still good. Let's see in our game view. Oh, we're also missing our preview again. Let me get that back. Alright. So now we just need to make these buttons smaller and move them a little bit. So let's do that. So oh yeah, the width and the height should be the same. Oh no, wait, these are positions. So let's make this like 12. And I want to use the same size for the other one for this. Actually, for all of them. And then we want to reposition them. Wait, so what do they look like now? Okay, those are good sizes. And yeah, we'll just want to move the arrows to not be on top of each other and the other buttons to be kind of further apart. So, okay. So this should be maybe divided by 8 plus the width of a button plus an offset. Frame dot width divided by 16 or something. What else? Oh wait, aren't they placed like... Maybe I do want the anchor point to be like dot 0. Hold on. CG point. 0.5. Yeah, let's say 0.50. This one can be 1 or no, 0.51. Yeah, let's see what that looks like. Okay. Yeah, so for my left button, maybe this should stay at 0.5. What if I make that 1 as well? Let's see. Oh, that did not help. I'm just gonna... Yeah. Take the anchor point stuff out. See, what does that do? That's okay. Now let's just make it maybe even smaller and higher for those left and right buttons. So smaller means I'm probably making this 14. Like the size of the width of the screen divided by 14. Yeah. And higher means adding to this position some more. So maybe 12. Yeah. Oh, actually, we're not even doing that for the left button. Wait, so... Oh, no, this is X position. We want Y position to be different. So higher would mean making this like 10 or something. Let's see, how are those left and right arrows doing? I think that's a good place for them. But they're a bit too close to the Yippee. I think I need to make the ground a bit bigger. So let's do that. Yeah, where is the ground height? That is here. Let's make it divided by 4 then. And then we want the Yippee and the sword to go up with it. So 4.1. Let's see. Okay. What can I do here? I think that's fine. We just need like the screen to be, or like the grass to be a bit higher, I think. Like in the actual image file itself, not make the grass so low. And these jump and swap buttons, let's get them higher and further apart. So let's get them on the same Y level. as the other two buttons. Yeah. So, this should be good. And let's make them further apart. So maybe 4 divided by 3 plus the width of a button plus an offset, kind of like how we did the other one. So like this, and an offset of, well, the other one we did this offset, so let's see. Does that look good? A little bit. A little bit. Yeah. I think that's okay. Maybe I want to move the jump and swap buttons a little more to the left. I think that will be good. And make them a bit closer, I think. So to make them closer, we need to make this offset smaller. So divided by 20. Well, instead of making the offset the width of a button, well, okay, let's just make this 20. And move them both more to the left. So instead of 3/4, let's do... What's in between half and 3/4? So it's 0.5, 0.75. Let's do 0.6, which is 3/5. Yeah. Let's see, how does this look? Okay. Maybe 0.7, so 7/10. What's a natural state for your fingers to be while you're holding your phone sideways? Is that a good position? Who knows? Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. Maybe a little higher for these buttons, but overall, I think it's okay. Let's see how it looks in the simulator. There should be a little bar at the bottom, which might eat into some of the things. Let's see. Oh, I need to show my simulator. Here we go. I hit play. Yeah, this looks okay. And we want the Yippee. So when we click the left and the right button, we want them to move left and right. Yeah, and we want them to like gradually move, not like teleport left and right. So we could, yeah, let's work on that. So let us, for our little Yippee, let's get him to move. Let's give him some walking legs. So player, hold on, I think we can use an SK action. So let move left action equal SK action dot move to X player dot position dot X plus frame dot width divided by 16.2 seconds. And left button dot run this. Let's see, what does this do? Oh, we also need to capture self. Yeah, okay. Let's see, how does this look? This is a right button. Oh, wait, actually, so this should be minus. Let's see, how does this look if we run it? So, right. Uh-oh. It's not doing anything. That's no good. What's going on? So, sk action dot move to. Am I using sk action wrong? I might be. Let's see. What are we doing incorrect? I could be using sk action incorrectly. Sequence, fade label out. I'm taking a gander. Oh, I think my music's is gone. Is it? Oh, it is. Now we have it back. Nice. So, let's see. What do we want to do here? What to do? So we're looking for sk action stuff. Add stuff. Seems like it's not working. Run thing. Yeah, it should be working. But we seem to have an error with it not doing anything. Let's see. Right button on tap, do this. And I'm calling on tap, I think. Oh, I'm not. Okay. I think I forgot something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I forgot this. On tap. I knew I was forgetting something. Yes, let's try running it again. See if our little Yippee moves. Does he have legs now? Play? Uh-oh. Yeah, it's not moving. Uh-oh, I thought that might fix it. Yeah, it's not fixing it. Interesting. We can do some debugging. We can print something. So print tapped. Let's see. Are we tapping? So if I click this, did we get any debug logs? Let's check in our console here. Yeah. Oh, I don't see any debug logs. Uh-oh. Something is going on. Let's see what's going on in our code. This should be doing something. But we don't seem to be having any movement. I'm not seeing enough movement, so to say. As Ninja might say. Oh, maybe this should be player. Ah, I think that's probably why. And this should be move right action. I think the buttons were moving then. But the player wasn't. The little Yippee wasn't moving. Let's see, maybe he'll move now. Oh, he's not moving though. Yeah, because we're not getting any prints either. Yeah, we should at least be getting some prints, some debug logs. Let's see. We are creating our button nodes. We're adding them to the scene. And we're giving them an action. What seems to be going on? This on tap should be getting called. Maybe these aren't tappable yet or something. We need them to allow user interaction or something. I know you have to do that with image views in UIKit, but I didn't think you had to in Swift, or SpriteKit rather. I don't think you do, but this is making me doubt myself. Oh, we do. Interesting. Interesting, we have to do this. I didn't, okay. I guess maybe SpriteKit? I don't know if it's built on top of UIKit then. Probably. Probably, they're very similar. So here's what we need to do. Is user interaction enabled? True. We need to do this for all of our buttons. Otherwise, they won't register any taps. Yeah, that would be most unfortunate. A button that can't be tapped. That's no button, is it? I would say not. So now, aha, look at that. We've got a moonwalking Yippee. Very cool, but he's gonna go off the screen if we do that. We don't want that. But we want him to move with the sword. So let's have the sword move in tandem with the Yippee. So, yeah. Let's move the sword as well. I think we can just add another line here and say sword.run this, or rather weapon. Cool. And actually, when we move left, I also want the Yippee to like rotate or turn on the x-axis. So, and the sword. So when we move left, let me say player.xscale equals player.xscale times well, that'll just auto flip it. So we only want to do this if it's not already flipped. So if player.xscale is less than 0, do this, or not less than 0. Do this. Otherwise, don't. And same for the weapon. Yeah. I guess we could put, we don't need another condition. If it's not greater than 0, then swap it. Cool, just like this. That'll be good. Now let's see how this looks. Oh, is this StreamYard? The music? Oh, it is. I love StreamYard. Yeah, okay. Now let's see how our Yippee does. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we've got some weird stuff happening. And our sword is going too far away. Yeah, this is kind of what I want with, like, him swapping, but he's also teleporting. He's teleporting. I don't want that. Yeah. Also, let's stop printing. We don't need to print anymore. Let's take this out. So I've got a couple of bugs. Our Yippie's teleporting. He's like, when I move left or right, he's like swapping entire, like, instead of rotating based off of his center, he's rotating based off of a different anchor point. Yeah, so actually we want to set the anchor point back to be 0.5, 0.5. Yeah, actually we can do that in the, well, do we want to do that in the button? I don't think so. So, yeah, so the Yippee should have the 0.5, 0.5 anchor point instead of that 0. So we'll take this out. That means we'll have to, like, reposition him, though. Yeah. Let's see, how does this look on the game view? Okay, but if we... Yeah, okay. But we need to move him up. He's like he's got a sword on his head. Also, what are all these errors? It's so weird. This is weird. Arrow, move, button, whatever. Yeah, let's just clear this. So, what do we got? We want to... What do we want to do? How about... we... What do we want to do? Let's say... we move the Yippee up. I think that'll help with the sword being on his head, too. It'll make it so that it's not on the head anymore, I think. So let's move our Yippee up. And left a little bit. So... to move him up... we can... add the height divided by 2, I'm thinking. The height of the Yippee divided by 2. And to move him a bit more left, I can maybe say 6.1 or 6.2. Let's see, how does this look on the simulator? Let's see. Oh, but it's doing some weird thing with the, on the first button press, it does some weird stuff. Oh, also, when I move left, he's turning the wrong way. Yeah, he should be, he's moonwalking. He's doing a Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson Yippee. Oh, Yippee. 'Cause Billie Jean's not my lover. He's doing a Michael Jackson. Alright. Well, let's fix that. Let's, I think I just gotta swap these. Yeah. Let's see. Then maybe he's not gonna do a moonwalk anymore. Cool. Yeah, now he's going in the right direction. Yeah, when I click it, the sword kind of like pushes forward. Oh, that's a bit weird. Yeah. Alright. So also the sword should be a bit lower. Yeah, so what are the bugs we're facing? We've got the sword being on his like mouth, and when I click the button, the sword pushes forward. Yeah. Okay. So what do I want to do? I would like to move the sword down a little bit, and I would also like to what else? How about yeah, make the sword not like move when it moves or when it taps. Yeah. So, okay, I know what to do. This is... Oh, okay, I see what's going on here. It's not... this should be sword.position.x. So, move player right action. And then we need another one for the weapon. Move weapon right action. Yeah. Let's just do this as well. Move player left. Move sword left. Alright. And what else do we want to do? We want to move the sword down overall, so it's not like on his mouth. So I need to subtract a little more, maybe 13. Oh no, that's X position. We want it from the Y. So, move it down, so 21? Let's see, how does this look? Oh, it's still moving it like... Yeah, that's weird. Oh, this should be sword. Or rather, it should be weapon. Move weapon left. So this should be weapon. This should also be weapon. What else do we need? Move it down more. Yeah, so maybe 20. Now let's see, how does this look? Oh, that's weird. I think the Yippee is fine. It's just the sword is being weird. I think it's because the anchor point. Yeah, because when I swap it like that, it changes the anchor point. Yeah, it actually... Same for the Yippee, I think. Or no, because the Yippee's anchor point is at its center. But the sword's anchor point is at the edge. So... Maybe I want to swap the anchor point for the sword at each movement. So yeah, something like that. So weapon anchor point should be this when it's moving right. Yeah. let's set this here. And when it's moving left, the anchor point should be 0, I'm thinking. Let's see, how does this look? Oh, it like teleports back. Ooh, okay, that's a bit weird. Excelsior! Alright. Let's see. Yeah, we need to fix that. We do need to fix that. Indeed. Let me check something. I need to do the checking of the things, just to be sure. Let's see. So, if we move this to the right, or to the left, yeah, it's swapping. I thought the anchor point might be better if it was changed, but yeah, we need to make the sword not like, yeah, it's like swapping incorrectly. Yeah, we need to move the sword to be more like on, like, forward and down a little more. Let's do that. So, let's work on that. So let's move the sword to be a bit more like forward and a bit more down. So, yeah, let's see. So to move it forward, we'll want to subtract maybe a bit less, actually. And to move it down, we will, I guess we can make this bigger. So maybe divide it by 19. And then I guess we won't do this weird, like, anchor point switching for when it turns right, I think. Oh wait, what's the bug? Is it when it turns left? Yeah, it's left that it does the weird anchor point switch. Yeah, so I'll just keep the anchor point to be, what's this, 1.5? Yeah, okay, so it was always that. So then we won't do any weird anchor point stuff. Let's see. So, ooh, yeah, I don't know why it does that. Okay, yeah. So maybe, I need to, like, move it back when it swaps. Something like that. Yeah, because he's using, like, the force to hold the sword. Which is not really what we want. Yeah. We need him to actually hold it with his little yippee arms. Let's see. Maybe we can move it back when we turn left. So, yeah, so it would be here that we do that. Yeah, so we can maybe subtract some more from this and see how does that affect things. So if we turn left, ooh, I think, oh, that made it worse. And he's like, it's running away from us. It's got a mind of its own. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit awkward. Yeah, so how do we want to go about this? Yeah, before I set this to player position, because I thought that might, like, be better. But it would seem as though, yeah, okay, player position's better. Yeah, okay, that fixed it, but like there was a bug. Like, on the first time you press the button, it moves, which I don't want that. So it needs to already be in the right place. by the time we're moving. So to do that, what we'll do is we can set the position of the weapon to be like this at the beginning. So I think, yeah, we'll do that like here, I guess. Is that gonna fix it? Let's see. Oh no, still a bit off. Let's just confirm. Oh, this is iPad. Yeah, it's still moving. Also, the ground is like super warped. I'll have to fix that. Maybe in like the image file. I'll make different grounds for different screen sizes. Because I did that with the background. It's like different aspect ratios. I'll do that for the ground. But yeah, we're getting some weird bug with the sword not being in the right place at the beginning. Let's see. So when we click this, wait, what happens if we click left at the beginning? Oh, it like teleports. Yeah, okay. And so let's see. What do we want to do to fix this? Yeah, because I thought setting it to the player position at the beginning would help, but I think oh, I see a problem here actually. We are setting this to be the player position minus this, but like the player position updates. So I think this variable, oh no, wait, I think it's fine. I'm kind of like overcomplicating it, but yeah. Let's see, what do I want to do for the player position then? Or for the weapon X position? What if I take this out? What then? Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how to like get it to start like in that position. That seems a bit, yeah, what am I gonna do there? Let's see. So, because I think it's this line I need to change to fix this bug, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, so basically this moves it in tandem with the player. But if it's already like at an offset, then maybe not. Okay. So what if I just make this like manually adjust it? Like what if I just eyeball it? So maybe instead of minus 16, I'll do like minus oh, what happens if I make it like minus 12? Where does the sword start? Oh, okay. And if I but it does like a weird thing. It like, okay. That's weird. Right, so what if I make it like, yeah, I think it started in the right place. Or, oh, okay. Now it's like, no, it started a bit offset. So what if I make this like minus 20? Yeah, a little bit of eyeballing might have to do. Yeah, okay. Now, maybe if I add it instead of subtract it. Let's see, what does this do? Okay. Now it goes behind. So I kind of want to get like in between that. Which would be like 0. Which, so if we take it out, but I think we already tried taking it out. Yeah, so this is like the right position. And if I click a button... Oh, wait, did that fix it? Oh, I thought we tested that already. Maybe I didn't test it thoroughly. Yeah, okay, that fixed it. So now the next thing we want to do is move the sword a little lower, so he's not eating it. I kind of want him to like have the sword a little like where the the neck and the body is a little lower. Yeah, that'll be better. So for that, I'll adjust the height of the, or rather the Y position of the sword, which is here. So I'll just make it lower. So to do that, well, let's see what happens if I take this out. Let's see what happens then. Is that? Oh, okay. Now he's like gliding on it a little bit with his little tippy toes. So that's a bit too low. Let's make it a bit lower some other way. Like make this a 22 or something instead of a 19. Let's see, what does that do? Is he eating it? Oh, he's still eating it though. Okay, so we want like in between 0 and 22. So what would that be? What if I just make this like divided by 100? Yeah, so basically it's placing the sword like 1/4 0.1 from the bottom of the screen plus like a little offset. And we want to adjust the offset a little bit. Yeah, okay, so divided by 200 is too much. So in between 22 and 100 is the sweet spot. So how about 40? Let's see, is that better? Yeah, that's better. I think that's good. Maybe I want to move the sword back a little bit. Also, let's see how this is looking on an iPad, because it's based off of the width of the screen, and the iPad width is a bit, like it's a bit wider. Yeah, okay. I think it's okay. Now let's just move the sword back a bit so he's not like, yeah, I don't know, he's kind of like barely holding on to it. Let's give him a better grip. So let's move the sword back a little bit. Yeah, so that'll be here. So right now we have it set to be the player's X position. Let's subtract it ever so slightly. Frame dot width divided by 40, maybe? Let's see, what does this look like? Okay. But now the sword kind of like moves a little bit when it moves. Or when we click the arrows. Yeah, I think this is a good position for the sword to begin with. But we need to stop it from moving again. Let's see. How do we do that? So oh right, because we had this bug before where when we added this offset, then it like messed with it here. Unless we add the offset back here. Oh, maybe that could work. Oh, that could work, maybe. We'll see. Oh no, wait. I think that's too much. Yeah, he's pushing the sword out now. That's a bit much. Yeah. I feel like I need to redesign how I'm doing this like positioning stuff. It's getting a bit unwieldy. I'll admit. Yeah, because I think if I do anything besides like 0 here, it'll do some weird teleporting with the sword. Like that. Yeah. So let's see. How do we want to go about this? Yeah. Also, I don't want to be stuck for too long. These bugs are kind of like, these are kind of like off-stream little bugs to fix. Like I had a bug earlier. Let me show. Let me see. I'll show on the simulator. There was a bug earlier that I just fixed off stream because it was kind of gross to fix. But it was like with the when I clicked the shop button and I went back, it would do some weird thing where it would like freeze instead of showing the start screen. So I just fixed that. Yeah, little bugs like that I might just save for later. I guess maybe now we can kind of move on and I'll fix it later. But yeah, let's make him jump then. And we'll fix the sword thing a little later because there's a lot of weird math I'll have to look at. But yeah, for jumping, I think maybe what we can do is, okay, so this will be like physics. We'll need some physics for this. Yeah, and actually we don't even have a physics body yet. Yeah, so we'll need a physics body for our Yippee. So let's work on that first. So here we'll want a player dot physics body equals sk physics body. I think we want like a rectangle. Let me see. I did something in my other project. There's like a whole... Yeah, okay, so we want like a texture, which we can use the Yippee texture that we have up here. Our texture will be like kind of how we define the shape of our like hitbox, basically. And the size will be... What will the size be? It'll be the size of our player. So that's our hitbox. Kind of, it'll be the shape of the Yippee, and it'll be the size of the player. So that's like exactly how we want our hitbox to be. And then we'll say player dot affected by gravity equal false at the beginning, because we want him to be on the ground at the beginning. We don't want him to like fall through the ground when you start playing the game. Only when you like jump, then he'll like go up and then fall back down, and then no more physics. Yeah, and so... Oh, actually, we'll also want to set some bit masks here. So this is like basically what you can collide with. So if we want to let our Yippee jump, we want him to be able to like collide with the ground so that he doesn't like fall through. So we'll need to set that up here. Yeah, so to set up our bit masks, we'll make an enum, private enum collider types. I always call it collider types. And we will set up our bit masks. So I saw another way. Like usually what I did here was I said like player category or something, and I said like 0B100. That's like a bit mask for our player category. Oh, also this needs to be uint 32. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But I saw someone else do it. And what they did here was they said like 0x1, and they did this bit shift. And I think that looks nicer, because then you don't have to like count how many zeros you have. You can just, you know, that's like how many zeros you have, like the 1. And now I can do this, like, I can shift it some bits, like 2, 3 or something. So we want the player to collide. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. So this declares raw type but does not conform. Oh, I need some stubs. Really? Wait. What type is this? This also need to be in 32. Oh, okay, no, wait. What I saw the other guy do was he made this a struct, and then he, instead of doing this, he made these all variables, static let, and then he made this uint 32, which I don't know if that's better than what I normally do, making it a struct. Maybe. I kind of like enums for this type of stuff. So yeah, maybe. Also we need ground category, and Yeah, that's all we have right now. We have the player and a ground. But eventually we'll have like enemies. And like the weapon should be colliding with things. Actually, we can make a weapon category too. Like we'll have the weapon hit the enemies. And the enemies are going to be little Yippies too. Like I have little different colors of Yippies. Which I'm also going to have like skins in the game. So you can turn into one of these if you like pay some gems or something. But there'll also be enemies too. So you can become the enemy. To know thyself, you must become your enemy. But yeah, so we'll have that later. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I should make this a struct or an enum. I guess, because if I make it an enum, I don't think I can do this kind of syntax. And I like this. This is nice. Yeah. Anyway, to use this struct. I need to... Yeah, this is where we were setting our physics. So we need to set... There's a couple of types of bit masks to set for physics. So you need a category bit mask, which is basically what defines your own... Like if something is colliding with you, then they need to know what bit mask... Or... It's kind of hard to explain. It's like... It defines your own. This is the category that I have. And if someone wants to collide with me, then they have to refer back to this category. Basically. Yeah, so then I think... Yeah, normally I put raw value when I use the enum, but I think with the struct I can just use this static variable. And then there's also a collision bit mask. And I don't usually mess with this. I'm not actually sure what that does. But here's the one that really matters, which is contact test bit mask. And here, what I do is I set this to be whatever I want to collide with. So in the case of the player, I want to collide with the ground. And then if I were to collide with an enemy, I would also have like an OR here. And I would say like collider types dot enemy category. But for now, we don't have enemies yet, so I'll just leave it with the ground for now. Yeah. And so now we have physics on our player, or like a hitbox. And we need a hitbox for the ground too. So let's do that. So for our ground, we'll do the same thing, like same deal here. But instead we'll have ground texture. We'll use ground.size. Yeah. And we'll say this is ground category. The ground can collide with the player. So, yeah, that's kind of like hitboxes. So now we need to like utilize those. Yeah, and actually just to kind of demonstrate that now it has physics. If I set this to true, then when I start the game, it should like fall through the screen, the player. Let's see. Yeah, he's just like dropped off. Little Yippies going to the Shadow Realm. So, yeah. But now, if we set it to false, like he has a hitbox, but he's not gonna fall through the screen. Yeah. And like technically right now he's colliding with the ground, but we're not handling what happens with that. Like, for example, we might need to handle it if the sword collides with an enemy, then we would like let the enemy lose health or something, and if he dies we get points. But like if we're colliding with the ground, like nothing really happens, so we don't need to act on that, basically. Yeah, so let's make him jump. Let's make him jump, and I think for that we'll need to do some we'll have to give him like a force. So I think what we can do is like when we tap the button, we can say player.apply or player.physicsBody, I think, .apply force or impulse. And we pass a vector here, which is I guess like how like much force we want to apply. So for jumping, I guess he'd just want to go straight up. So nothing in the X direction. In the Y, I'm not actually sure like So gravity we can set to like 9.8 or something, right? So how much force do we want to go up? Maybe like 3.0 or something? And also when we tap the jump button, we want them to be affected by gravity now. So that's true. The thing is though, once I hit the ground again, I want to set this to false. So also I need to capture itself. That's just a Swift thing with closures. Yeah, this is related to like memory and stuff. Yeah, basically, I guess I can talk about that. So like with closures, if you don't delete everything, like basically it has to do with like, so this is a closure. It's like an anonymous function, and like the objects are stored in memory within the scope of this function. It like creates its own memory. And if it stays in memory after the closure is over, then you'll have like a retain cycle. It'll like not delete from memory, and then your app will blow up. It'll keep stuff in memory, keep duplicating stuff, and then you're gonna have like an app that's open and it's taking up like 500 megabytes when it's a 30 megabyte app, and your user's gonna be like, why is my app slow? And you've got a memory leak in your app. So you gotta be careful with this. Yeah, that's the Swift thing with memory. But yeah, you just gotta always know not to keep things past this scope. Yeah, it doesn't matter in this case, because it's this object we're using like all the time. But for other things, it does matter. Yeah, I've faced some weird bugs with that before. But anyway, so we apply this impulse, and our Yippee should jump up, but we're not setting gravity back to false. So he'll jump, and then he'll like fall through the ground and off the screen. So we actually do need to handle the case when he hits the ground, because we want to set this to false. And to do that, we need to override a function called didBeginContact. Actually, we can't override it yet because we haven't conformed to SK Physics Contact Delegate. It's a protocol that allows us now to override didBeginContact. And now this is where we'll also need to set the physics of the world. So I think for that, let's see, I think it's like something dot world equals, I need to set the gravity too of the world too. So yeah, physics world dot, let's see, gravity. Oh, and here's we can set our own vector for the gravity. I guess we can do kind of like standard world physics, like minus 9.8 or something. Yeah, sometimes I do other things, but I guess for now we can see how that fares with our impulse here of 3. Oh, I guess we don't need to override this, but it allows us to implement this function. Yeah, basically this function will get called anytime a collision happens. That's what we need. Like basically we want this function to call when the player hits the ground, because then we want to set the gravity of the player to false. But yeah, now we have this gravity on the world, and we also say physics world.contactDelegate equal to self. So that's making it so that like this scene has the ability to listen to physics functions like contact. Yeah, so now we need in here some code to handle collisions, and I have a way of doing this standard. So I create like 2 variables. I call one node A equals contact.bodyA.node else return. So this is like the first thing that got touched or got contacted. And here's the second thing. This, you can imagine a collision involves like 2 things. It can have like multiple things, but usually it's like 2. But the thing is, we don't know what what the first thing that got contacted was and what the second thing was. So we actually have to check. It's like if node A is the player or node B is the player. So this is like if the player contacted something. If node A dot physics body dot category bitmask is so like if it's the player and the bitmask is the player category. Actually, I don't even know if I need this, but I usually do it, so I'll keep it. So if this is I think okay, I'm referencing some old code. Maybe it's not ideal. Oh no, yeah, I don't need this. This should be the ground category actually. So if node A or node B is the player and node A has the ground core category, and I also need to check if node B has the ground category, I think, as well. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I need another statement here. It's like, or node B was the ground category. So basically, within the scope of this if statement, will be what happens when a player was involved in a collision and the ground was involved in a collision. So what do I want to do? I want to set the player's like physics body affected by gravity to false. So now hopefully when I jump, I like land back down and I don't fall through the screen. So with all that being said, let's see if all this code works. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of changes, but maybe not. Oh, so he fell through the screen. Uh-oh. I think he jumped, and then I guess it didn't collide with the ground. Maybe I'm not handling collisions right. Let's see. Let's do some printing. Let's see. Let's debug. Let's do a little debugging. So let's first off see if we're handling our collisions right. So did collide with ground, or maybe like say like player did collide with ground. I can do a print there. Yeah, also maybe increase the dx of this. It didn't really jump that high. Let's make it like 300. And now let's see. If I jump... Oh! Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, he collided with the ground, but he like... Also... Oh, now that's a Yippee. Now that is a Yippee. A Yippee who's on some Yippee drugs. He jumps very high. Alright. So, okay, we are colliding with the ground, but it's not... Like, for some reason, it's like going through the ground. Anyway, even if we have, like, this going on. Like, if it's not affected by gravity. Yeah, as soon as this gets set to false, then it shouldn't go through the ground. Unless I could literally set the physics body to nil, so that it no longer handles any physics. Although we don't want that, because when we hit the ground, we could encounter an enemy who could hit us. And if we don't have a hitbox, by setting this to nil, then we'll be invincible, which we don't really want for this game. Yeah, so what seems to be going on here? Also, we definitely need to decrease that impulse vector. Yeah, we had it set to 300. That's a bit too much. He's zooming. He's really zooming. Yeah, so where do we set that? Impulse here. Let's set this to like 30. Yeah. Now let's see what's going on. So if I hit the jump button. Oh, okay, so he jumps a little bit. I keep spamming it. Oh. Yeah, seems like it's not high enough. So it needs to be like in between 300 and 30. So maybe like 100? Let's see. If I jump... Oh. but he's still like going through the ground. Yeah, because when it collides with the ground, it should set that to false. Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm also on the shop. Let me go back to this. Yeah, so what seems to be going on here? So when we jump, we want to land back on the ground and not go through it. So, yeah, he's like jumping, and then, yeah, it is colliding with the ground. Maybe this isn't doing what I think it's doing. Maybe, yeah, because I figured if we make it so that it's no longer affected by gravity, that once he hits the ground, he doesn't like fall through it. Because yeah, he shouldn't be like falling at all anymore. Without gravity. So, I have an idea. What if I just set this to nil, and then, like, kind of how I had before, with like, but it'll be like invincible when it doesn't work or whatever. I know. Yeah, let's see. So if I set that to nil, oh, okay. Yeah, the physics body rather. Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess, can I not do that? Okay, I can do it. And so, what if I just give him physics at the moment that he jumps? Just for like debugging. I can't make that like the permanent solution, but just for debugging, if I give him physics right when he jumps, and then take away that physics when he hits the ground, maybe that does something? If I jump, okay. I mean, oh, and also now I can't really jump anymore because I think I'm stuck in the ground. Okay. Yeah. Because I'm pressing jump is not... Oh, because he's constantly colliding with the ground. I think this is constantly getting printed. Yeah, that's why. Okay. So, I see. Okay. Oh, I think I know why this might be. Because... Okay. Yeah. So let me set this to be false. Or like the affected by gravity to be false. And then, yeah, because I think the physics body, like the hitbox of the ground, is actually like slightly lower than where the grass is, I think. I think that's how it is. Or like the Yippie's like slightly above the hitbox of the ground. Do we want that? Let's see. And yeah, we need to comment this out too. Okay, so we've got affected by gravity be true. Apply the impulse when I hit the jump button. And then, I collide with the ground. I shouldn't be falling anymore. Like the thing I think is like right when the game starts, I think he's already colliding with the ground. Let's see. So if I go to the game view and we don't click anything, yeah, so he's not colliding with the ground yet because he's like hovering above it. But as soon as I jump, yeah, he hits the ground. Yeah, which is weird. Like he should. Oh, that's also funny. It's a ghost sword. Uh-oh. It's a possessed sword. He's got the soul of all the slain Yippies. Yeah, so, okay. But he's like falling through the ground, which is... Yeah, that's a bit weird. I don't expect that. Okay. So, yeah, this should stop the Yippee from falling through the ground. But it does not. Why is this? Why does... Also, let me see. Is the jump like high enough? So if I jump... Yeah, that's kind of like a perfect jump. I think that's kind of how much jumpy I want him to be. But... Yeah, we got the problem of him like going through the ground. Yeah, why is that? So I set this to true. He hits the ground, it should be false. Something seems to be going astray. Something is not going the way of the Yippee. So, what might that be? What could be going on? Yeah, so... what if I set this to false after a timer? No, that can't be right. Like, I was gonna think, like, maybe I can time it, how long it takes for him to fall back down, and then set the gravity to be false. But that's like, overdoing it. Like, it should definitely be something when he, like, hits the ground. Then he can't, like, fall more. Like, that seems to make sense to me. But yeah, there's something weird going on where, like, he continues to fall even after he no longer has physics or like the ability to fall. Maybe where am I setting the gravity to be true? Like just in that one function, right? Affected by gravity. So I set it to be true on tap of the button. Maybe there's something like and I set it to be false at the beginning. True when I hit the button. Yeah, this is a weird bug. I'll admit. That is a most odd bug. Because I feel like this is getting called an extra time. Maybe we can put some prints in here. Like print, like tapped jump button. And set gravity to true. Or like, yeah, set affected by gravity to true. And then we can, yeah, affected by gravity to false. And actually, maybe we can just print that, like what the actual variable is, just to be sure it's actually getting set. Yeah. We can do that with that. String interpolation, something, whatever. We don't mind. And then, what do we need? This goes away, and this as well. Yep. And we'll put this below here. Alright, so technically this should be true, and this should be false. Alright, let's see. Let's do some print debugging. The best type of debugging there is. So, yeah, to begin with, this should be false. If I jump, it should go to true. Okay. Let's see. So, I jumped, I went to true, and then I went to false. So it is getting set to false. Okay. And this is only getting called once, which is also what we expect. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's weird then. Yeah, why is he falling like an extra amount? Yeah, that's a bit odd. He should like hit the ground and no longer fall after this is getting set. Yeah, I'm gonna look this one up because that is most unexpected. Yeah, because if he no longer is affected by gravity, why does the Yippee fall? Why do the Yippies fall? Such a philosophical question. Yeah, so sprite node falling after gravity set to false. Fall off screen. Something. Something about physics world. They're saying. Physics world dot gravity equals 0. I don't know about that. That seems a bit much. Yeah, okay, I'm checking online. They're saying like I should set the gravity of the world to be like 0, which I don't know, that don't make a whole lot of sense to me. Because then he's just gonna like jump and then go fly into outer space. Because that he won't have any way to get back down. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. I might have to check this. Well, let's see. I will see. Physics dynamic. Okay. Maybe it's something to do with that. Something about dynamic physics. Player.physics body.dynamic? Or was it? Yeah, there's the concept of dynamic and like static physics. Where like one is controlled by you and the other one is controlled by the world. Oh, actually, I did something similar in another app. I made a meme app with like the guy jumping at the judge. Like that happened like a month back. But I did something similar where like I made it Angry Birds and it was a dude launching off of a like a slingshot like in Angry Birds. And it also had physics and like jumping across the screen. Let me refer that code. I'll actually pull this one up too because it's not on my personal GitHub. It's on my public GitHub. Yeah, let me show this. So I'll refer back that code and maybe we'll find some insight from there. So here is my court jump slingshot code. So I had the code where he was like being slingshotted, and that also involved some physics. So if I refer this code, also I have a did begin contact as well here. Yeah, and I guess I didn't really give it gravity. I just applied an impulse vector and he fell back into the... Oh, actually, okay. I don't think I need gravity then. Wait, did I do anything with gravity actually? Gravity, jumper, false. Okay. Set gravity to true. Okay, yeah, what did I do to make it not like go through the ground? So okay, so touches ended, I set this to true. Apply an impulse. Yeah. What was the brain like back when I was writing this code? Velocity 0. Okay. So this is like in the update function. Oh yeah, that's like resetting. Okay. So it did move to view, no gravity. That's kind of what I'm doing right now with the Yippee. And then this touches began, so then I touch the dude, then he becomes affected by gravity. Oh, I don't think I set a gravity for the world, did I? Like physics world? Did I do anything with physics world? Oh, I did, but I didn't set gravity. Okay, maybe that's why. Because the world has gravity. I guess that's being overridden. That could be why this is happening. So what if I take out the gravity for the world? Yeah, I kind of like how that Stack Overflow post I was looking at earlier, he's like, don't have gravity in the world. Maybe if I do that then, and just the impulse vector, maybe he'll come back down after the force is applied. Let's see. Oh, also we have a bug somewhere. Okay, yeah, I didn't do anything here. Alright, let's see if we can have a jumpy Yippee. A little jumpy Yippee, and maybe he'll come back down on his own. Uh-oh. He's still falling through the ground, even after we took out the world's gravity. Okay. Oh, also, we need to do... Yeah, I guess we need to do this physics body equal SK physics body edge loop from frame. Yeah, so that way he can't like fall past the screen, or we can't go past the screen or something. I think that'll be better. So hopefully, like, at least with this, maybe he won't like fall off the screen, but like fall to the bottom of the screen. Yeah, let's see. Let's see how this will be. Let's see how this will be for the little Yippee. Uh-oh. Looks like we've got some weird thing going on here. Oh, maybe our preview doesn't like this. The edge loop from frame. Let's see. Maybe we can test in the simulator? Perhaps that will be a better way to test. Let's check our simulator. So, if I hit play and I jump, oh, still not going past the, not staying on the ground. Man, we have our ghost sword. Okay, yeah, we've got a couple of things we need to fix for sure. Indeed, we need to fix the things. Yeah, I don't like getting caught up too much in bugs. I might fix it later. Yeah, I might do a little fixing later. But yeah, I guess for now, let's see. So we have a game view. Yeah, we created this whole game view this stream so far. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why it's like taking so long to update. Also, let's add this physics back. Let's try and get it back into the right state that it was before. Maybe that's why it's taking long to update. Oh, also, I'm still showing the this. Yeah, I'm trying to show like the preview. Let's see. Yeah, that's a bit weird. Maybe if I restart my Xcode. Let me try that. Sometimes that does the trick. Yeah, I'm gonna restart my Xcode. Let's see if this fixes it. And if I reload this, oh, it's still taking a bit of time to load. Also have to like recapture my Xcode on the stream. Let me do that. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, it's still taking long to load. Yeah, I don't know what changed. I think something, maybe in the code, it's like doing some infinite loop or something. Not too sure about that one. Yeah. And in the simulator, does it still work? So if I run this in the simulator, let us see if we have a Yippee. Yeah, so this works and our shop works. And we hit play. Okay, this works. Cool. Yeah, so I guess to kind of like go over what we have. Yeah, we've got little Yippee here with the sword. He's ready to fight some heathens. Some evil Yippies. He's ready to fight the enemies, ready to convert them to the Yippee religion. All the non-believers will be smote down by the righteous sword of Yippee. Yes, that will happen. Yeah, so okay. Yeah, I think I'll wrap it up here, but yeah, we've got quite a lot done. Like, we didn't even have like any gameplay. We just had the start screen and the shop from earlier. But we have this now, which is good. And some kind of jumping where he like runs away from us and goes back to the Shadow Realm where he's from. But yeah, we'll do some fixing of the things, and we'll get the things to work as always. Just takes time. Yeah, but we'll get there. So that'll be good. Yeah, but for now, I think I'll do some wrapping up. So we'll go back to here. Yeah, so with that, thank you for watching part 2 of this installment of the Yippee mobile game. We've got some gameplay now. We've got a lot more to add, so fixing of the bugs. We'll add some enemies, we'll add some attacks, we'll have the sword swing, and some also like projectiles and swapping of weapons and things. Will be good. So that will probably be next in the pipeline for gameplay mechanics, and then eventually we'll get to like the shop and skins and consumables and that kind of stuff. And then hopefully at the end of it we'll have an app on the App Store. We'll see how long that takes. Hopefully we can get her done real quick. But yeah, progress has been good. This is good. Yeah, so with that, thank you for watching. This has been part 2 of the Yippee mobile app building. We'll be back. I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow, so maybe next stream will be in a bit, like in a minute. Be like Friday, probably. Yeah, no, maybe I need to switch my stream times to be more kind of spread out. But yeah, it'll be probably like Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific, and we'll do part 3. And probably the bugs will be fixed by then, and we'll get into some more cool gameplay. Maybe have some swinging swords and some enemies, some hit points and stuff. We'll be good. But yeah, with that, thank you for watching. Maybe I'll raid someone. Who shall I raid? Yeah, no one no one in the tech VTuber sphere I usually see is on, but I do like me some Zach Rar. So why not raid the big streamer? Let's do that. Let's send Mr. Asmond Gold some love. So yeah, let's check him out. Let's do some Zach Rar stream watching, shall we? I think so. Anyway, take care, hope you enjoyed, and have a nice rest of your weekend until part 3, where we shall do the good things. So yeah, let's do some raiding. Oh, actually I gotta raid in here. Yes, I cannot raid in my stream elements because it wants me to log in, unfortunate. But yeah, we will do the raiding here, and that'll be good. So yeah, catch you there. Take care, and bye.